The productivity problem most people have is not a deficiency problem. They do not need more habits, more systems, more morning routines, or more carefully structured focus blocks. They have enough of all of those. What they have alongside all of those is 6 specific habits that are consuming the cognitive and temporal resources the productive habits were designed to use, running silently in the background of every working day, draining the capacity that the systems were supposed to direct. Adding more productivity habits to a day that already contains these 6 is like adding more fuel to an engine with 6 leaks. The fuel arrives and immediately begins escaping through the same 6 holes. The output does not improve. The leaks have to be closed before the fuel has anywhere productive to go. Tony Stark's workshop produced output not because he added the best possible systems to a day full of bad ones. He closed the leaks first, eliminated the processes that consumed resources without producing output, built what remained on the cleared foundation. 6 habits to delete. Here is every one. Delete 1 reactive morning starts. The phone checked before the first intentional act of the day. The inbox opened before the one important thing has been decided and begun. The feed scrolled before the brain has been directed at anything the day requires from it. The reactive morning start converts the highest cognitive capacity window of the day into the first deposit of other people's demands on the attention that the important work requires. Delete it. The phone stays down until the one named output of the day has been engaged. Not completed, engaged. The day then runs on a brain that directed itself first rather than a brain that was captured by reactive input before it had a chance to produce anything. Delete 2 constant notification availability. Every notification enabled is a standing invitation for interruption at any moment the sender decides to interrupt. The research on task switching costs is consistent. The time lost is not the time of the interruption, but the additional time required to rebuild the depth of focus that existed before the interruption arrived. A deep work session interrupted by 1 notification costs the notification's duration plus the rebuilding period. Delete the notifications from every application that is not genuinely time-sensitive. Not silenced, deleted. The default should be unavailability, not availability. Availability is a concession granted deliberately, not a default state maintained passively. Delete 3, the task list that grows faster than it shrinks. The running to-do list with 47 items that produces the perpetual feeling of being behind regardless of how much is completed. This is not a prioritization failure. It is a collection habit, the accumulation of everything that could be done, rather than the identification of what needs to be done today. Delete the everything list. Replace it with 1 item, the single output that would make today count. Everything else is background context. The 1 item is the day. When it is done, the day was productive regardless of what else happened or didn't. Stay with deletions 4 through 6. The first 3 free the morning and the focus. What comes next frees the week and the identity, and deletion 6 is the one that most people who genuinely improve their productivity identify as the single most impactful removal of anything on this list. Delete 4 measuring the day by hours rather than output. The man who works 8 hours and produces nothing that moved anything is not a productive man who had a bad day. He is a man using the wrong metric. Hours are inputs. Output is what the hours produced. Deleting the hours metric and replacing it with the output metric changes what the day organizes itself around, because what is measured is what the brain optimizes for. A brain optimizing for hours fills them. A brain optimizing for output moves things. Delete the hours. Measure the output. Ask 1 question at the end of every day. Did the named thing move? Yes or no? That is the entire productivity metric. Everything else is decoration. Delete 5, the deferred decision pile. The tasks that are not being done and are not being deleted, that occupy the list without being acted on, consuming the low-level background attention that the avoidance requires without producing any output. Every deferred decision is an active drain on cognitive resources. The brain registers it as an unresolved open loop and maintains the processing load of the avoidance alongside the processing load of everything else. Delete the deferred decision pile through a binary audit. Every item either gets a specific date and time for completion or gets removed from the list permanently, not rescheduled. Either scheduled specifically or removed. The pile collapses. The cognitive resource recovers. The day runs on a brain with fewer active background processes. Delete 6. The identity of being busy. The subtle but structurally significant habit of measuring worth by busyness, of treating a full calendar, a constant stream of demands, an inability to step away from work as evidence of importance or dedication. The busyness identity produces busyness. It fills the schedule, because the schedule being full confirms the identity. Delete the identity, replace it with the output identity. I am someone who produces the important thing, not someone whose schedule is always full. The schedule that serves the output identity looks completely different from the schedule that serves the busyness identity. Stark was not proud of being busy. He was proud of what the workshop produced. Delete the busyness pride. Build the output pride instead. You came into this expecting 6 things to add. The superior productivity habit, the specific system that closes the gap between the current output and the output the day should be producing. Every item on this list is a deletion, not a reduction, a deletion. The reactive morning start is deleted, not reduced to 15 minutes. The notifications are deleted, not managed more carefully. The 47-item task list is deleted, not reorganized. The hours metric is deleted, not supplemented with an output metric. The deferred decision pile is deleted through binary audit, not shuffled. The busyness identity is deleted, not softened. 6 deletions, no additions. The productivity that was always possible under the leaks becomes available when the leaks are closed. Nothing new is required. The capacity was there. The 6 habits were consuming it. Remove them. The output follows. Tonight, 2 deletions. The 2 that address the specific leaks where the most productive capacity is currently escaping every day. Not the most impressive, 2 to remove. The 2 whose removal would most immediately change what tomorrow's working hours produce. If the reactive morning start is present, set the phone across the room tonight and name the one output of tomorrow before sleep. The deletion happens when the alarm fires, and the one named output begins before the phone is touched. If the 47-item task list is present, open it right now and identify the one item that would make tomorrow count. Everything else moves to a someday list or gets deleted. Tomorrow runs on the one item. The someday list is reviewed once a week, not daily.